Hello, my name is Jim Hummer from Solver, and today we're going to be looking at dates and date display and periods within BI360. We're currently looking at the BI360 data warehouse, and we have made a row here, a typical row, and then a column. And we use the function this period this year. So by default, it puts in this period this year, but if you run the report, you have no idea which period that actually is. So we need to display our period. So I'm looking at a couple different ways to do that. One, if I expand my fact set, I can see my period dimension. If I drag that into my column and I go ahead and run this, you can see that basically it's interactive, so it changes as I basically have my periods and I run them. So here it changes from 2 to 1, so forth. If I want that to display as a date, if I try to display this as a date, go Format and go into Date. And let's just do a basic Excel format. If I run this, it's going to give me not what I want. It's going to give me all sorts of gobbledygook. And why is that? Is because it's not a date in Excel. So that's not what I want. So I want to go back to my basics here and reformat that as a general. Or I could do numeric, it doesn't matter. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and expand my period. And I'm going to go and do a period end. Now why do a period end? If I go into my report and run it, you can see that my period start and period end are formatted as dates. So they're already dates, so I can basically use that in Excel. So I can go here and I'm going to go to my period end and I'm going to format that as a date. And actually I'm going to go do a month year. So I go run that, and that gives me January 2014. And if I change this to 2, it gives me February 2014. Okay. Now, if I want to do that other places, like if I want to go and drag and drop this and put this into somewhere else, let's put this into like A3. And it says, well, I want to do a selection, and I do not. So if I run this, what does it give me? It gives me 2016. So it basically grabs the first period within the first date within the period dimension that it sees, because it has no filter on it, and it puts it there. So how do I resolve that? So I go back to my design, and I click on my cell, and what I do is I go ahead to my parameter, and I can actually drop in a couple of ways. I could just drop the parameter, but here I'm just going to drop it into the cell, and I could just go ahead and drop the period into the cell too. So now if I run this, it gives me February, oops, and it gives me now January. So it's interactive. So I basically have filtered by the cell. So if I want to have this with text, so what I can do here is merge the center, and I can go in here and just type in period as of, and I can combine Excel, and I can reference like C3. Let's see what that does. First of all, I have to have double quotes on anything that's text, right? And an equal sign, because that's a formula. Up instead of C3, I want to have A3. Okay. And you see how that changed when I put in the quotes and also that, and now it references that. So let's see what that does. So go ahead and run this, and it says 41670. And what that is, it basically is a serial date, because it basically, you can't combine text with dates. You can't combine different types. So what you have to do is you have to do a conversion. So what we do is use the text command, And there's my value A3, and then I put a comma, and then I used custom Excel formatting, so I can use 3 M's, and I can use 4 Y's. And I'm also going to put in a space here to make this look good. And so now if I run this, it produces what I want. And if I want to change this, I could go here and have less months, and I can see that look different. So that's like that. So if I put in 4 M's, it produces a whole month. So that is basically custom Excel formatting that you can use. So you can control how you want your periods to work and how they work interactively, and you can put them on different cells and with different cell filters and so forth. You can make it look exactly the way you want. Thank you.